It's going to be a great match.
How long has it been, Leo? I mean, it's been quite
Too
some
long.
time since you and I were sitting here casting Asia together. It is a throwback, and I absolutely can't wait. Of course, I don't have to. We're already in game, and Halal men do take the ball into their own side in the first opening moments here.
Certainly so. I'm expecting a lot from Azure Esports, but maybe Halal men can surprise it, of course. I would say slightly disappointing day yesterday for them, coming in scraping through in the round 5. Certainly still a big achievement, but I would expect them better from them. Maybe they can turn things around today. Well, Blue, will be the first man to try and start things off, get the attack going. Will fall back to Squiggly. Well past Kaiser, pushing the ball upfield, Squiggly down. Not going to be good enough yet in early minutes of the game. It's very even, maybe feeling each other out of sorts. Of course, as you've seen earlier on, best of 7 series, so plenty of games to be played, and that's a great start for Abs Crazy.
I'm not sure if he was meaning to set this up off the post for a second. I thought he might actually miss this, but collects it quite nicely to put it away, and it's just a good team play and good communication from the Halal men, where Azure, with an open net there, was clearly lacking some. And you mentioned already that you wanted to see a surprise out of Halal men, and that's one of the reasons that I said that this, as one of those lower bracket games here, was going to be one to watch, because I think Halal men are another one of the two teams that are here today that are most likely to give us that surprise.
Yeah, the team definitely possible of an upset. I think it's both teams defying expectations. Azure on a more positive note, Halal men on a more negative note. They can come in and they can do better. Here's some chances for Halal men on the line at Kai's, and it will go in. It was a bit close for comfort, but they make it 2-0.
And we talked about who we thought would be the difference maker on the side of Azure, but Kaizen had to be my pick for Halal men as well. He's paired so well with Blue there, of course, being from that previous roster together as well, and even before that, playing together on and off. But yeah, I think Kaizen would have been my pick, so it's good to see him starting this off strong as well.
And it's still an incredible start by Halal men and Azure. We need to take some time to get into the series. Of course, every single game they played every single series they played yesterday, they did drop one game. So dropping this game, maybe not out of the ordinary for them. They just Squiggly trying to turn things around with the ball upfield. Of course, only 2 minutes off the clock, so plenty of time for a comeback. But will Halal men allow it and send it as a dangerous touch? A good shot in, but defender's there, but lands on Kaizen. It hits off the crossbar. It's going to be an own goal somehow. An absolute mess in the net, but Azure Esports gets the goal nonetheless.
Nothing but chaos here, followed out by the wrong man and turning back in to just put it into a teammate's nose. There was no chance that turned out well, even if they got a clear out of that. Total chaos, and that's got to affect your confidence. They need to get on top of mistakes like that fast, and I think that's why Halal men have come into this as the lower seeding position as well, because it's a consistency issue.
Yeah, I think double commits and communication can be a big thing that a lot of teams will struggle with, especially in kind of early days of RLCS. You know, you don't need to worry as much in the kind of random weekly tournaments, because if you don't win that one, you go next and you do it again. It's only like, $50 or whatever. You're not missing out on too much. But for now, you're in RLCS. There's a lot of money up for grabs. There's a lot of points up for grabs. You want to be the best you can, and it's going to be a big roadblock that these teams face. Communication is key, and I think the teams who figure that out first are going to be the ones to perform best.
Absolutely, and there is so much on the line, and that means that you have to perform well. And right now, Halal men are still on top, but you know this just as well as anybody could, that within Asia, you do see far more of that warm-up time, that the two teams feeling each other out, than you do in a lot of other regions, and that has started to change. But you still see examples of it, and I think we are seeing it here.
I mean, we've seen that just alone in the previous series of Zentra almost coming back and the game ending 6-4. Here's Azure with the equalizer now, and making this 2 apiece. Halal men's lead quickly take it away from them, and now going to be a struggle to fight back into a leading position.
Yeah, fired that from midfield. It wasn't an absolute banger of a shot by any means or anything, but really, really well placed shot, and nobody back means that it will even up. And Halal men I do think that if anything's going to be an issue here for them, it will be their defense. And I know that Blue is a player that is often picked up for his smart, for his ability to be able to make defensive plays and turn them into aggression, but he can sometimes succumb to the temptation to just play like the rest of his team and not be there for that reason that he's picked up. And I think that we do see that frequently out of him.
There are certainly benefits to playing like your team, I would say. It definitely kind of helps with like a general game plan, and some people may be a bit too greedy with the ball, but in general creativity, it's always good to have that in a roster to use the opposing side. And I think you see it a lot from even top line of EU and NA teams. You have that more creative player. I think First Killer on FaZe, for example, or Astro and Carmine Core, these creative mechanical players who can really mess up an opposing side as opposed to the kind of general play you'll see. That's a really important quality to have, and I think teams that can harness that, and of course if Blue can work on that ability to be more individual as a player, it could be a huge driving factor for this team's success.
Now, it is still an even game with less than 30 seconds left. There's no time here for anybody, and the next goal will probably win this out here as Kaizen sends it up. Can it be Halal Man? No, Claw Z is on that very, very quickly. Going to take it to the corner as well. Blue turning nicely. It goes out to that midfield. That second touch there by Azure is actually going to make it harder for them to score here, but Squiggly, he has the mechanics, we know this. Off the backboard
Bunny dummy.
Bunny, does he have it? No, it's off the crossbar to the ground, and we have overtime.
Crossbar down, overtime for game number 1. 2 apiece the scoreline. It will become 3-2, but whose side will it be on? Azure Esports making the comeback to bring this game to even, but Halal Men started off in the strong foot. Can they get back to their old winning ways? Well, here's Bunny Dummy. They'll clear outfield. It's a good pass over the centre. No one there to receive though. Kaizen, a tap up pie, good 50-50. Lobos in the time, he can make that pass work. And centre it will go over to Blue. He brings it on target, will be saved by Bunny Dummy. Halal Men maybe need to be a bit more aggressive. Look for some more bumps, look for some more demos. Try and eliminate the defence as the ball comes out centre. That's a wide up net. Squiggly makes it back, the shot not powerful enough. Good attempts nonetheless, and they keep on coming.
And a Bunny Dummy though. 45 seconds already of overtime. They don't want to see a minute. They might not. Abs Crazy is available though. And now Halal Men are facing so much of the pressure in the last seconds of that game, and now out of time, and Claw Z is out of time to get back to that ball. It's going to be all over for Halal Men in the first game as Azure take the first one.
Oh, and Blue didn't miss it. Abs Crazy just takes him out as, I don't know, punishment for missing that ball, but that was disappointing there. And it's Claw Z of the most of the work being done. 3 goals to his name, 801 points in the score, but what a performance.
And I was so looking forward to seeing an overtime, but it's just a little bit disappointing the way that went down, isn't it? I mean, not saying that I didn't want to see one team take it or I wanted to see the other, but that's not the way you want to see the goal taken, and it's not down to the shot that was made. It's down to the defense. That has to be fixed.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate way for it to end, and Azure Esports, they do take game 1 nonetheless. Overtime, let's go in their favour for the most part. They looked like the more dominant squad, but they missed from Halal Men to end it. Is just a sad way to go. That goal from Abs Crazy to start things off. Definitely a good moment to really make Halal Men feel good about it, but unfortunately for them, it just slipped away. They couldn't keep a grasp on that lead, and Azure Esports, they were able to bring it back, and frankly, they take game 1, and I couldn't be surprised to see Halal Men struggle now in game 2 onwards after that disappointing loss.
And I think Halal Men are a team that may struggle without that momentum as well. The mental part of this game is very apparent when it comes to Blue and Kaizen, and after a loss like that in such a disappointing form, I mean, you know that they're already feeling the nerves. You know that they're already feeling the pressure, and otherwise a goal like that just doesn't happen. And now we have to look at this again as we come into game 2, and Halal Men are going to have to make some major changes because Blue and Kaizen are of the top quality players in Asia.
Yeah, when 2 of the goals which were scored against you were less by the other team's skill and more by your own mistake, it's gonna hurt. But they have came back strong already with 20 seconds gone by. They make it 1-0, pummeling shots off the backboard, crossbar, all sorts of woodwork they could find. They make it work, and they get the opener.
Yeah, great stuff out of Halalman, but it is what we saw in game one, and it didn't turn out for them then. They have to be able to hold on to their lead. Now Squiggly going to get 50'd away from that into a corner, but Blue will be able to get under it as Bunny chucks another shot on goal. And it's just, I have to commentate this and do that play-by-play because I expect Azure to send it back in so quickly. I expect answers back and forth in this game.
Certainly so. Azure, can they give some answers to Halalman's goal? It comes in centre, and it's a decent opportunity to keep the pressure alive, but Blue do that tremendously. Upfield, he'll send it. Over to Abs Crazy now. I would say the start of the show at the start of game number 1, but maybe fell away as time went on. Here's Kaizen. Good pass over to Abs Crazy. Oh, he gets it through, but off target and Squiggly's back. He can get the clear away. Blue will not make it easy. In centre now, good 50-50. Coming round to Abs Crazy, the pressure will continue. Will not fall to the back of the net yet. Azure still trailing by 1, but it could easily become 2 with one wrong step.
It's interesting to see the way that this game is playing out because both of these teams, you would assume, and the Swiss bracket would indicate, are better than the last series that we played, but we're just not seeing it out of them. And we should. I mean, in any other tournament within Asia, I would have said that either of these teams would beat the last 2 teams that we saw. I don't know if that would be the case right now. I think these teams may just be outclassed by the practice put in there.
Well, bouncing away. Can Halalman make it 2, get a little more comfortable? We've seen them with a 2-goal lead last time and they were unable to keep it. Maybe this time can be different. 3 minutes on the clock, 1 goal in it. Here's Claus. Firing that ball centre, but Abs Crazy will interject. That's an attempt to bump. Good idea from Claus. I like to see it. Squiggly tries, but not enough. Halalman are holding it well, but can they do more? This is not a safe lead.
Liking seeing a lot of high-level play here, like very close to the ceiling, as we didn't really get a lot of that. And that is the confidence that very high-level mechanic players can have to do that sort of thing. But they need to find each other, and they need to put on pressure. They need to surprise their opponents. And right now, nothing surprising is happening. It is all play by route, and that's not going to be enough to slip past either team without mistakes, but we are seeing those, so it's just any man's guess who could take this one out.
Halalman, they've been on the front foot, constant attack, constant pressure. Azure, they've been doing a good job not to crack again, but now for a counter-attack, can Halalman do well enough in defense to survive? A great clearance upfield by Abs Crazy. Blue can't make it in time though, bumped off this ball, bullied and battered around there by Bunny Dummy. Off the side. Bunny Dummy going to take his time, good 50 against Kaizen. Off the corner with Claus, he brings it in centre, the defence stands strong, Abs Crazy will get it away, and a counter-attack starting to commence. Still looking to make it 2, but no boost in the tank, will be a hard shot to make. Instead passing it back to Blue.
Oh, how's that miss there too? I thought Kaizen was going to be able to score that one away. Halalman 1 up, nearly increasing their lead to 2 there. That would be the buffer they really want going into this final minute of game. It's going to be a lot of pressure on them to hold it as it comes back now. Azure is the one with the ball possession with 0 boost, has to find a pass in here. It's not going well. Kaizen going to take this up into the corner and look to pass in as well, and it's just so back and forth now. The possession changing hands rapidly, and it will again here as long as Clause's challenge goes well. It doesn't, but a demo there should be able to keep them at bay at the very least.
I think if I'm Halalman, I'm going to be terrified right now. So many missed shots that we could have scored to make it 2-0. And Azure Esports getting closer and closer to making that comeback. Ball rises high above net. Here's a good chance now off the backboard. The defense needs to stand strong, but Bunny Dummy, the sniper, comes in. He ties it up. 28 seconds on the clock, and Halalman's lead fractured and made nil.
And it happened so quickly. We were just talking about that fear that the Halalmen should have on them for only being 1 ahead with all these shots being put on them. The miss of that crucial buffer goal is now become so relevant as they go even. And with 20 seconds left, we may see yet another overtime here already in game 2. Blue does get a good pass out. There's a shot, but it's just too slow. Clausey has no problem putting that away from the backboard. 10 seconds. Now it's going to get sent downfield by Bunny Dummy, but a good 50. Kaizen, can he make the dunk? No. Clausey puts it away, and now it's going to be another overtime. We could see this all the way through the series.
A second OT for our second game of the series. Will Azure make themselves 2-0 up? Well, Halal able to tie the series up. They look so great to start things off, but late game is where they slip away, so I am worried for them now. As this is where they struggled last time. The pressure from Azure has been mounted upon them. It comes in centre, a good pass down to Bunny Dummy. He brings it in centre, no one there to receive, but he keeps the attack alive, and that's what matters right now. Pressure, pressure, and more pressure. They want Halal to crack, they're going to keep on shooting. That's a good demo. The defender lives. Abs Crazy able to make the save. The ball lurking ever so close to the Halal net.
Blue again, going to send that downfield as well, and it is just this back and forward play. There's far too many big, long, booming shots in this game. Both teams does not rate each other's ability to defend, and maybe correctly so, as Blue takes the series back to even with Halal Men taking that goal there.
He finds the opening squiggly, inches away from finding that touch. It will not be enough. And Halal Men will take that game. Blue getting the MVP title. 4 saves, 2 goals. Great performance by him. But Azure, on making that comeback, Halal Men need to be careful with their leads. They are throwing away things way too easily.
Most shots being equal there across Kaizen and Bunny Dummy there as well. And it's not super surprising. Squiggly does have a lot of mechanics under his belt, but it's usually to get that opening, to make that possible for Bunny Dummy. So seeing him shoot is correct, and we did see him score as well, but it was not enough. That overtime playing up well for Halal Men, and Azure need to be careful not to underestimate their opponents here, because it was just pot shots that ended up taking this for Halal Men.
These are the amount of shots I was expecting looking at how things went yesterday on stream. 13 shots to 9 in favour of Halal Men, and shots pay off. They got the win, but thinking you're getting 13 shots and 2 goals, a question has to be asked about the shooting in general. Maybe the defense is just incredibly good, but I think it's more that the shots aren't being placed well enough.
Yeah, I mean, they're such long shots as well, though. You give that opportunity to defend when you give so much time to think about it, and there is just far too much time being given to both sides. This is not a complaint about one team. Neither of these teams are estimating the defense of their opponents well enough, and we should really be seeing very low-end scores here. I am surprised that we're seeing many goals at all come out of this. One goal there in that last game was incredible, don't get me wrong, but we need to see more of them.
Oh, here's Squiggly trying to get the opener for Azure. Will be saved by Kaizen, but dangerous Blue. Needs to clear that ball away. The pressure remains. Kaizen off to the side. Was able to fake him out. Passes that ball on to Squiggly as well. That's beautiful team play from Azure. Not working out too well in their favour as they're throwing away possession to keep the attack going. Can he make it work? Blue got by himself. Bunny Dummy dives in. The attempt not good enough. Coming round the back corner. An attempt for Halal Men to push upfield. Find the opener. They found the opener in every game so far. But every single time that has also went to OT. Here's Squiggly pushing that one, but cannot get the last touch to get it past Abs Crazy.
And it's back and forth again. I mean, these teams are proving themselves to be pretty evenly matched over and over again, both in-game and in series. And again, another long, booming touchdown field. The control options are just not being taken right now. Bunny Dummy reads that before the pass comes in, and Abs Crazy, another long clear, but following it himself this time, not letting it go too far. Kaizen gonna try and get this pass in, but beaten by Squiggly. The defense is good.
Defense holds strong as the ball rises high. Claws get that easy pop shot on net. Squiggly going to try and get one of his own. Takes that ball high. The follow from Bunny Dummy reads the bounds, but the clear will be found first. Halal Men's defense has been standing strong, but that eventually cracks. They're going to have to struggle for a comeback, and at the moment it looks like it'll be sooner cracking than them scoring, as Azure Esports keeps pummeling shots to that net. I spoke too soon, never mind. That's crazy from the goal for Halal Men.
And it's the Halal men striking first yet again. I mean, they have such strong openings, this time far into the game, though. Do you think that there's a reason that the Halal men are striking first consistently? Is it a problem with Azure, or is there something that is turned on for Halal men before they get that first goal?
Halal men, a familiar sight for them. A 1-0 lead in that net has been absolutely forgotten about by Azure. What on earth happened? Their claws going for it, and where was Burnley? Okay, they were just by themselves at the mid boost. Cool, well, that's a free goal, I guess.
Yeah, very interesting by Azure letting that one go, and I mean, risking letting the game go at this rate as well. I mean, the first goal, don't get me wrong, was pretty good, but that's a bad sign for Azure. They need to get on top of this, and they need to show like that exactly where all this practice is paying off. An incredible shot into the corner at the last moment. Squiggly, the setup, and the shot comes in so narrow from closer.
It's like game number 1 all over again. The 2-goal lead quickly getting shattered. 1 goal in it now. Just about half the game left to go. Azure Esports on the road for the comeback for the 3rd time this series. Will Halal men allow it this time, or will they stand strong and hold their lead till the bitter end? They've not been able to do so yet. 2 overtimes so far. They don't want to make it a 3rd.
Yeah, and I mean, this is that consistency problem I was talking about with Asia, where they just can't hold a lead. I mean, 1&E probably represents that the best, despite being such an incredible team and getting up so far at times. They have been able to choke out losses at times that seem incredible, but Halalman has the same issue. And Bonnie, give away shots like this. Azure, what a shot it is, though. I mean, you cannot blame Halalman too much when the shot has this much angle on it.
And there it is. The lead had been shattered. Azure equalised the game, but Azure, other than their OT win in game number 1, have yet to have a lead in regulation. Can they change that? Well, here's Claus. They'll try and make it free, but the ball will travel wide. Quickly brings it centre. Kaizen needs to get this touch. He'll get it out to the side. Still a dangerous position as Bunny Dummy on the attack. That's a huge bump from Kaizen. Claus can get it absolutely nowhere, and Kaizen just running up the whole field. Beats out 2. Can be the 3rd, but that's a huge pitch on the net by As Crazy, and that makes it 3-2 Halalman.
An incredibly fortunate 50 here. Oh no, not a 50. Beat him to it outright. Squiggly couldn't get what he needed there and found the net with so much speed there. Halalmen finally able to regain a lead in a series and maybe able to take one outright for the first time here as well in regulation.
Some sloppy goals coming out in this game, but goals nonetheless. The teams will take them. Will Halalmen hold this 1-goal lead? The 3-2 up. As Crazy coming in. Hitting that to the back wall, so Rimley should be able to get a big boom upfield. He'll do exactly that. He sees Claus. He wins that touch as well. Round the back wall, it will go with a chance for Bunny Dummy to get the touchdown. It's going to be in centre, but cleared away by Bunny Dummy. In centre now. Claus has to be defending well. He does a good job and clear away.
As my screen goes completely black, I cannot see the play. It comes back, there we go. Right in time to see Halalmen back on attack still. They have some pressure on them now as Claus Z comes through to try and clear away from that pressure. Halalmen finally do let it break, and Bunny Dummy is the man to push it forward into Halalmen's half. It's now less than a minute left of play. Can Halalmen finally make the play they need to? Can they keep a hold of this lead? It is only a 1-goal lead. They want a buffer, but it doesn't look like they're going to be able to make it without letting it go again.
Well, last time in game number 1, they lost that lead in the dying seconds of the game. Will it be similar here, or will they make it 2? The shot will be saved on the line. The pressure remains. Azure Esports hunting for a 3rd OT. But will they make it there? Blue setting off the corner to himself, a touch away. This is dangerous, close to the backboard. Will they survive the shots on net? No, they will not. 4 seconds on the clock and the game will be equalised. Azure Esports never go down without a fight. They are here to play.
And I hope nobody in Twitch chat was doubting, because it was always going to go to this overtime. 4 seconds left on board. Unless there is an incredible kickoff goal here, This should be it. Abs Crazy making an effort here.
Oh,
It could be it.
oh!
No, it finds the ground.
So close for Halal men, but close but not enough. We go to our third OT of the series. One apiece. Someone's going to break the deadlock. Who will it be? And Bunny Dummy with the shot. Saved by Blue already. And what a series we have to watch, guys. Here, Blue to bring it centre. Claus will miss out in the save, but the ball goes wide and Bunny Dummy tries to take control.
Right now, finally, we are starting to see the teams pick up to where I thought we would see them. I mean, these teams, the players are showing up as the best players in the region. They're showing why they belong in this top 8 consistently and always have. I mean, these players have been there a long time, but overtime, again, I called that we would see another overtime, that we would be likely, but not in a million years did I think that the overtimes would be this reliable.
Quickly attempt to clear Claus off the sail, and Bunny Dummy needs to make that save. He'll find the 50. Here comes Kaizen now to the backboard, hunting for the win. Halalman having it taken away from them in the dying seconds, feel robbed of a win. And they are trying their absolute hardest to take this game free, send themselves 2-1 in the series, get one step closer to winning their best of 7 and sending themselves to the semi-finals. But it is such a hard task.
With 0 boost, it's not going to be centered in there by Abs Crazy. He's going to go for the opponent's boost as the center comes in from Kaizen. It's an open net. Can they make it work? Yes, it looks like it.
Bunny Dummy.
They're right. At the last second, Bunny Dummy comes in again.
Able to make the last second save. Azure Esports not breaking through onto the attack. Here's Squiggly to the back wall. Claude comes in, good 50-50. It slipped through the defender, and Azure Esports take game free somehow.
I jumped when that went in. Sorry, I am stumbling over myself because of the shock that is a goal put away. Incredible work. I mean, Clausey doing so much, but just that tiny error there from Halal Men. We've seen so many large ones. It's shocking to me that one of that minuscule an amount can cost them that game.
Well, either way, Azure Esports, they get the win in game number 3, and they put themselves 2-1 up in the series. They're having an incredible run so far, but this is a terrifying time for both sides. Halalman and Azure, neck and neck in every single game under the sun. It could not get any closer.
No, it absolutely couldn't. I mean, you rarely, if ever, see 3 overtimes back to back. I know it's only happened, I think, 1 time in my casting career, and definitely not the way that we're seeing it right now. It's incredible work finally in this game 3 to actually push to that point. I mean, we saw it be fairly sloppy play between both Azure and Halal Men for the first 2. I would say particularly the Halal Men have had some major errors, but their shooting has picked up enough that they've made it close every single game, and it's just incredible the consistency of these overtimes.
Got to feel bad for Halalman though. Every single game they get a lead, and every single game it goes to overtime and the lead means nothing. They need to work that out. They need to change things going into game number 4. And as we get ready for it, can Azure themselves finally find a lead in regulation? Yet to do so yet. Always playing on either equal foot or the back foot. Never ahead. And if they want to have any chances later on in the tournament, I think they're going to have to change that.
Yeah, and well, we are experiencing a few little technical errors. Hopefully we can cast this one all the way through without that sort of thing happening. Kaizen puts it back off the backboard. Bunny Dummy now should be able to push forward through there.
Oh, what
a save onto the post from the wrong angle.
Abs Crazy, incredible save. It comes round again, and Azure, they're looking for the early goal. Will they find it? Kaizen off the side wall. It comes in centre over to Squiggly. That should be easily saved by Abs Crazy, but Azure Esports nonetheless starting on the attacking front. Halal Men dealing with it well, but for how long will this last?
Not long at all, as Squiggly sends one home immediately, as you say, that a little bit of caster curse coming through. Or maybe actually that was your prediction there. You said how long can it last? Not that it would.
Well, the first time in the whole series that Azure have had the lead. We've seen Halal struggle to hold the lead in any game so far this series. maybe Azure can teach them a few lessons. The ball comes out. Kaizen at the clear upfield. Are we looking to get an equaliser himself? Off the ceiling he will go, and in centre of the back wall. It's oh so close, where the defence stands strong.
And a good centre from Blue. Squiggly, a massive mistake there. Bunny Dummy covers it in time, but not great out of Azure. They could lose the first lead in regulation time that they've had here if they're not careful. And it's also the first time that they've been able to score first in a game, obviously.
And so here's Abs Crazy to bring it centre. That's a good chance, but saved on the line. Halalman hunting for that equalising goal, and they might just find it, but there's Claws diving in for the save to keep Azure in the lead.
I do like Halalman's pressure. They have been putting it on, and even in goal there, one of the members of Halalman looking for that bump, looking to put just that question on whether they can get to the ball that would make them double commit. They didn't. Azure held strong, but Halalman still searching for their first goal this game.
Into the back wall. Here's Blue for an attempted shot. Saved by Claus once again. Gonna have to be a bit harder of shots than that. Back to Abs Crazy. This could be a difficult shot to save and get the power on it. Going for the flip reset instead. Cannot find it. Blue continues the rain though. Back it will go. Kaizen to the corner. It falls round. Squiggly's just gonna sit still in net, waiting for the ball to come to him, I guess.
And waiting seems to be the right solution for Blue at the very least as it comes to him in the midfield. They do give it away for a second. McKaisen, that's a good challenge. Comes away now as Abs Crazy gets on top of that. A good centre there. Clausey can clear out again, and there's so much pressure from Halalman all the way through this game. It's surprising it hasn't broken, but yet again Azure find the response to that pressure. 2-0 up for Azure Esports.
They extend their lead, they make it 2-0 off the crossbar, and it goes. It looks like they could be holding on to this game, but I'm not going to call it yet. We've seen the other games this series. 2-goal leads mean absolutely nothing when these two teams are on the pitch.
Bunny Dummy sends it up, but Abs Crazy should be able to get that. Takes it away from Kaizen, but finds it himself on the ground with no boost. Does find the center. Bunny Dummy has enough to get back up to it and find the save, though. This is so consistent in the way it's being played. Halalman putting on immense pressure. Azure just standing up to it, and when they find that break, they have been able to send it through. It is still only 2 goals in this game entirely, let alone the only 2-goal lead as well. And it's really, really been an incredible display from Azure.
This might be the first time we don't have an overtime in this series if Azure can hold their 2-goal lead. A minute and a half to do so, but now it becomes 1. Kaizen, Abs Crazy, a beautiful showing of skill. Look at these passes, it's Kaizen in centre and back down, it will go. Oh, that is a beautiful goal.
Yeah, the lovely little 1-2 play, and it looked to be saved, but the speed and height that last touch from Kaizen provided, what a play, and it puts Halalmen certainly back in this. They are 1 down still, but attainable if they can play like that. Oh, doesn't look like they can.
The lead has been extended once more. 3-1 now for Azure Esports as Claus just slips one in, and that demo from Bunny Dummy made that go happen. That is what I want to see from more of these teams. They're a bit passive a lot of the time, not being as aggressive on the demo, on the bump front, and you're seeing the impact that it had. If there's no defender, who's going to save your shot? Abs Crazy so close, but the kickover still might go in from Blue. The follow-up's there from Kaizen, and it's back to a 1-goal game.
And after being given no chance to display that they can play this way in the last goal taken against them, they immediately respond and say, yes, we can. This is something we can do all day. Halalmen have finally picked it up, and now 2 in a row of their goals have been of this quality and this back and forth. I mean, the first one was definitely a better goal, but incredible work nonetheless, and that pressure finally paying off for them.
Azure Esports have been the kings of the comeback. Can Halalmen challenge them to the crown? 1 goal in it, and we could have an OT for game number 4. But Azure Esports, they want to hold. They want the stat to be ruined. They want the stat of this series to be ruined. No 7 OTs in a row or anything like that. They just want the win, and I respect that completely. Bringing it around the back corner is Squiggly. Pass in centre. Bernie Dummy will receive. Good launch up field. Off the back wall will go. Claus has to be careful here. He misses the touch. This is a prime opportunity. It's going to be a huge bump on the defender. Squiggly save the follow-up shot. It goes high. Another touch in the air. And Kaizen will get the equaliser.
This is going to be another overtime, isn't it? Incredible, but Halalmen need to not only hold on to this, they need to either score again immediately or go into overtime and do what they haven't been able to do, which is come out of those on top. I mean, Halalmen have had so much issue just standing up to that pressure of that overtime, and it has been an overtime every single game. Will it be again here in Game 4?
Well, unless Kaizen can do something with this ball, he drops it to the ground. An OT looking likely it will be an OT once again.
It looked like maybe, just for a moment that Halalmen was going to be able to take it in regulation time and be the only team to do so at that in their first win, but it's just not gone their way. I mean, Halalmen really struggling here. It would be their second win, sorry, my bad, as Halalmen really do search for this. I mean, if Azure take this, they're on that point. It looked for a second like they wouldn't be able to be, as Halal shot well on target, but what a save.
Halalmen won game 2. Can they win game 4 as well, keep the streak up? Azure win this, they will head to match point, 1 game away from victory. Halalmen will feel robbed if they drop this series in a not Game 7 situation. With how close things have been, I feel like we deserve a Game 7, but we might not be granted it depending on how Azure Esports do in this OT. A clear away from Blue. A big launch upfield to Claus, it will bounce off the corner. Squiggly, able to receive, trying to take his time, get the ball away. And Claus off the ceiling. Never dealt with well by Kaizen, dropping down once more. Bunny Dummy. To the back wall. Can't find the touch just yet. I was crazy to slow things down. But the pace starts picking back up and Halalmen trying to break through onto attack.
I could be wrong, but I think every single overtime has increased in time as well. As we go looking towards it happening again here. I can't remember exactly what we saw in overtime for the last one of you do, Boyo, but definitely getting up there now as Blue tries to find that center.
Ooh.
No, the shot doesn't come. The pass doesn't reach its mark, and it's really on the shooter there for missing that one.
I will say you were very close with your start. First overtime 58 seconds, the second one 54. The third one was 1:39, and this one will be over that. So very close to ascending order of time, but either way, this one reaching the 2-minute mark, and Halalmen on the attacking front, looking to make this series go even, and that's a good chance to do so. Here's Claus with the save. Off to the side, I'm interested to see the stats after this game. The amount of save being made by Claus in particular is going to be insanely high, and in centre the ball will go. Dangerous now, Kaizen has to deal with it, but it's dangerous. Here's Claus to the backboard, it's in centre, it could be a chance, but it will be hit away, and Azure Esports still hunting for this win, while Halalmen still fighting for survival.
Kaizen does put it up into the corner. There has been consistent pressure all game and in the overtime as well from Halalmen. Every time they get the ball, they're able to put that pressure on quite well. What a pass, an early pass, and not a usual play from Halalmen. Almost did see that open something up there, but Abs Crazy's gonna have to look to do it again. Will 50 there off of Kaizen, doesn't go well for him. Passes back in eventually, but it will escape away to Squiggly.
Squiggly. And get it past. There's Kaizen off the backboard. A close attempt, but not close enough. Off the crossbar, the ball will bounce away. Squiggly. Past one will go. They get past another perhaps. Here's Kaizen to the side wall. It's a big demo on the defender, but the last man back, able to find the save. Kaizen gets demo. It's an absolute bloodbath on the pitch. Everyone getting destroyed right now. But the defense stands strong. The shots keep on coming out, and the attack persists and persists some more.
Great touch to the backboard from Blue, but Halalmen need to start getting on this faster. They are actually dropping away from the response time that they were making to each other's passes here. And now is a good chance to do it as Azure all goes to pick up boost. They were almost out on every player there for a moment, but they do make it back in time as my voice starts to destroy itself. Yeah, it's going to be a very long overtime here as we approach the last minute of what would be another game.
Okay, so we'll have a look for a drink of water. I think the players will be just looking to get their dinner sorted soon, how long these series have been going. It was one best of 7 series. At this stage, they're playing about a length of a best of 9 if they keep up at this kind of pace. Here's Bunny Dummy off the ceiling to bring it in centre, approaching a whole game's worth of OT being played. And still the deadlock cannot be broken. We had 6 goals in regulation, but in 4 extra minutes we have had a total of 0. There's a chance, but on the line comes Blue. And we persist for longer and longer. It's Claus. A good pass out to the side, but it cannot connect with Squiggly. Guys, has to leave this ball. Oh, that's a good chance.
Backboard.
Oh, they keep on defending.
They do, and Azure has been the masters of defense this game, really, as we do cross over into that 5-minute period, an entire extra game of overtime. This pressure must be absolutely enormous.
Oh, that should be it.
Can he do it? He has, and Azure Esports take their 3rd game and are really starting to come away as dominant. But how can you even say that when it took them 5 minutes, 2 entire game lengths to eke out that win?
A whole extra game worth of time for that goal to be found. And look at the stats right there. So many shots taken from both sides. I'll do my quick caster map. That is 20 shots for Halal, men. Only 10 for Azure. Azure were in the defense for so long. 12 saves combined, 5 for Squiggly, 4 for Claus, 3 for Bunny Dummy. Oh, that was an incredible game, Gex.
And what Azure did so well there was adapt. I mean, they changed their playstyle to the fact that Halal Men had finally picked up and been able to put that pressure on. They changed to a response playstyle, which doesn't always work. They picked it well against Halal Men. It's incredible to see defense be that consistent that you can just rely on it to the point that you can always take that counter-attack option. And that is how Azure got almost every single goal that game.
Well, I don't know what to expect for this next game. That game number 5 is... I'm not biased here, but I just hope Halal Men win for the sake of having more of this series. This has been an incredible series. I'm excited for game 5, and I hope Halal Men win so we can get a game 6, maybe 7. Because I don't know how we could skip more. I don't know how they could justify giving us less of this.
How could you ask anything more out of Asia, turning up an RLCS and giving us matches that are this much fun to watch? I mean, I personally count it an absolute privilege to be here watching this insane matchup. I do not know how a game can be this close, and yet Azure just keeps taking it in overtimes.
They keep winning OTs. 4 OTs in a row in the series. Guys, the question is, I don't care about predictions anymore. I don't care who you think will win, who you think will lose. Will we get a 5th OT?
Ooh, yeah, I don't know. I mean, look, it was so consistent, and I mean, look at that overtime. I think we literally earned another overtime in the overtime. So I think it is likely that we will see another overtime here, because they're so even that we just saw 2 game lengths even.
Yeah, I think I've got to agree with you. I want another OT, and I think we might be blessed with another, as you said, a 5-minute OT right there. It's a whole game's worth. We had 2 games of Rocket League in 1, so we pretty much had 5 games already. Technically a game 6 here, but you know, game 5 was just a draw, of course. Here the ball comes in centre. Not going to be enough just yet. Azure Esports, of course, finding their first leading position in that last game. They did head to OT anyway, as Halal Men were able to join Azure in the comeback kingdom. Who will have the early goal this time around? I don't think it matters either way, because I think either way we're going to see it equalised.
I mean, yeah, game 6 because of that last overtime, but if you add them all up, we should be in game 7 right now. Game 5, well underway though, and already nearly a minute in and no goal scored. Will it be Halal Men first? Again, it's a good setup, but it drifts across the backboard in an unscorable position there. A good pickup by Abs Crazy. Can't get it past Squiggly. Does have the backup though as Blue follows through, but Claus, a big and dominant clear.
Here's Kaizen. The nerves going to be getting to Halal, man. It's something that all teams in this tournament will be facing, but I think particularly now, match point against them with an insanely close series. They are going to be insanely nervous. It's their first time in RLCS. They have made it to top 8. They have been so close to making it to top 4. One series win and they make it to top 4. And every single game they've played has been going to overtime. They're now 3-1 down in series. They feel it should be closer. So they are at the top of their nerves. And I do not blame them for it. But how will it work for them? They need to be chill. They need to calm down. They need to be prepared. But this is a good start for Azure to ruin that top for Halal.
And it's a good sign out of Azure because they took this under their own pressure this time. It wasn't a response goal. They were able to take Halal Men's own playstyle and flip it on them and say, we can do that too. Azure Esports has been dominant in this series, but only by overtimes. And now Halal Men are going to struggle again. They need to really, really make sure that this doesn't go to overtime if they want the confidence to push through and make sure that Azure, who are now on game point, do not take one more match.
Here's Claude with the pass down. It might just slip by, but saved by Kaizen on the line. That was dangerously close, but here's another one going to be saved by Kaizen on the line again, off the post this time, and out it will go. But Azure, they're not giving any bit of hope. They continue the attack. That's another crazy save by Abs Crazy. And Blue just takes it quickly there, just for the fun of it, it seemed like. Off to the corner.
Oh.
Abs Crazy. And to fight his way through. Claus, Squiggly, Bunny Dummy, all involved. And it might just slip by Bunny Dummy. An incredible slowdown. He finds a goal. Azure Esports 2-0 up. And Halal Men, they've got to do what they done last game and fight back with all their life.
And like you said, it was that slowdown, that delay that he brought in there, made the defense commit off the backboard. And once you jump from there, there is no recovering that. You have to choose your line and you have to go through with it. It is a full commit and it did not work out as the brains coming out there for that first goal come through as Azure Esports take their second. So.
Halal Men, they've been very quiet on the attacking front. They've got 2 minutes to score 2 goals to send this game to evens. If they can't do that, they will be eliminated from the very first regional for APAC South in the RLCS 2021 to 2022 circuit. They've got work to do, but Azure Esports, they are holding them back. They are shutting them down. They will not let them break through without a fight. And here's an opening from Blue. 1-on-1 against Squiggly. The ball goes high. A good chance anyway. The follow-up touch is going to be saved by Bunny Dummy. But the pressure continues. They're hunting for this goal. But will they be able to break through and find it? Constantly shut down by Azure Esports. It is such a hard task right now.
It's hard indeed. And finally, Azure up
Oh
confidently.
no! Oh, the
almost own goaling over and over again there as well. Oh, they are very lucky to get away from that. Azure Esports are very fortunate.
Everything with that could have went almost wrong. It didn't, bouncing around post, crossbar, everything in between. And Halal Men left goalless still, and it might finally be a clean game from one team as Azure Esports holding this lead with all their life. Bunny Dummy down to Squiggly. This would secure the game if it went into the back of the net. Blue gets it away. There's still the tiniest bit of hope alive, but the hope slowly dies down as the clock ticks away.
That it does, but we've seen Halal Men make 2 in this time before. They need to be fortunate and skilled to make it happen again. Blue now with options, but the pass doesn't quite reach its mark. There is another center there. What a shot,
a good chance.
Has to be another one off the backboard.
Oh,
it
no.
just finds the posts over and over again. And with 16 seconds left, they needed that. They needed that so badly to make sure that they had a chance for a second. With 10 seconds left, do they have the time to make at least an opportunity for a kickoff goal? No, it doesn't look so as it goes to ground. 1 second remains, 0 counts down. It finds the ground, and Azure Esports take the series.
We avoid the 5 OTs in a row, but not without trying from Halal Men. They gave it their all at the end. They almost made it there, but they could not do enough. And that was their last life. That last shot we've seen, that was their best bet. But with that, Azure Esports move on to the semi-finals. And Halal Men, unfortunately for them, will be eliminated. But top 8 is still an incredible placement they should be proud of in that series as well. they have proved to us they are a top contending team, and that is exciting to see.
Absolutely exciting. I mean, it does not get any better than those last few games in particular. They're an insane series. I know that we all picked Azure Esports, but did they make you question your pick? Because Halal Men surely made me question mine a number of occasions there.
Oh, certainly so. I thought Halal Men could have took it at any moment. And look at the teams, almost exactly even on the shots, with just one extra from Kaizen.